Alive. Good morning. Morning. I think we've swapped sides again, haven't we?
Well, just to keep people on their toes.
Right, I see. So it's
deliberate.
deliberate.
So bright. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's better. Didn't need to be that bright, did I? How are you doing, Bertie?
I'm very well, Debbie. It's a beautiful, well, it was sunny, and now it's raining. Nearly
raining
now, but we can't swear on LinkedIn, can we? So it's
You're
raining
always swearing.
Are we?
You swear a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Right. So we'll see. They haven't taken us down yet.
Yeah, so we're breaking rules today. Let's do it again.
Oh, what are we talking about today, Bertie?
No, well, just before we start, if you're watching, please hit that little button that gives us like a like and stuff. We like it when that comes up. That makes us feel special and all warm inside on this cold and frosty morning. So, yes, that would be great. And if you've got any questions or comments as we're going along, just write them in there and then we can read and then we'll talk about them and stuff. So, yes, and today we're talking about doing things that don't scale to scale your business.
Ooh, that's like a tongue twister. Doing things that don't scale to scale your business.
Let's put it up on the screen. Doing things that don't scale.
To scale your business. So this is kind of following on a bit from our conversation last week, isn't it? And then you were like, woo, let's get into this a little bit more.
Yes, exactly.
So when we're talking about doing the things that don't scale, so last week we were talking about these kind of terrible SHITTY marketing tactics. We're not allowed to swear. Marketing tactics of people kind of just sending out those generic messages. And we were talking about actually kind of doing a bit of research, finding out about the person, personalizing those messages is going to mean you're going to get a lot more results. And I did like a quick fire coaching session thing where I had every 20 minutes a new person in front of me. And it was this videographer and he said, you know, I've been sending out 200 emails a week and not getting any response. And I was like, yeah, you won't get any response from that. So that's where this conversation. So when we're talking about doing things that don't scale to scale your business, what else are we talking about, Bertie?
So, I mean, that's a great example. So what generally happens is when we think about growing businesses, obviously we want to scale and we want more customers. But a lot of the time you can try and solve that problem before you've had it. So in that example, that guy's thinking about scale and he's sending out 200 emails a day. There's no way he's personalizing and contacting them and treating those contacts like people.
No.
Because he's thinking about how would this scale first. To get the numbers he needs, he'd probably need to be sending out 200 emails a day. Quite possibly. I don't know. I haven't got the context behind it. But the important step that he's missing out is actually sending those emails out individually, going in and researching the person and then sending a personalized email. Interesting. I'd had from last week, we did the shitty marketing thing and I'd already had some connection requests. I then had follow-ups of people then saying to me, oh, just watched your shitty marketing and actually referencing and doing all of the stuff. So it does work because they were the ones that I then went back and responded to.
Yeah, and then you pay attention to them because you're like, you've actually paid attention. It's like, because I run the podcast with Amy, Women Who Create Podcasts, and the amount of PR requests we get come through, and we only interview 12 people a year. So we want to interview people that get what we're doing, are interested in the podcast, maybe listened to it before. And our first question is always, have you even listened to the podcast? Like, do you even know what we're about? Are you even interested? Like, why do you want to be on our show? We want a bit of ego rubbing. And generally that's either met with, well, I don't have time to listen to your podcast. It's like, well, don't come on it. Like, you know, we're not looking for massive numbers here. And if people send us a request to be on the podcast and they're like, I've listened, I love this, and this show. I think I'd be a really good fit because of this. Then our ears prick up and we're like, great, let's have a conversation. And it's putting that time and effort in, isn't it? Like, who do you want to work with and why do you want to work with them? Why do you want to do that thing? We don't want to work with everybody, do we? So that kind of blanket approach just doesn't really fit with that idea of actually, you've only got so many hours in the day to work with clients or sell your products. Who's the best person to buy it? Or who's the best person to work with you?
So doing all those things manually, especially in the early days, is really important. So of course we need to systemize and we need to automate and then bring people in to start doing those jobs. That's how we grow a business, right? But jumping straight to that step is a really common mistake. And a lot of the time it's people solving problems that they haven't yet got.
Yeah.
So you know, you might go ahead and build a website that's got all these beautiful automations, or an online booking system that schedules all your meetings if you're a coach and things like that. And you can spend hours and days setting all that up based on assumptions of what you think people are going to want. However, if you just did that first by saying, DM me on Instagram, does that scale? No. Is that going to be a pain in the arse to be going back and forth and scheduling meetings? Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. But do that a few times first, realize what it is that actually people want. And then you can build a system that matches that. And that's what I mean by doing things that don't scale. You have to, you know, get in there and eat shit sometimes and really do the difficult things and all of those parts of the funnel before you automate. But people think, oh, well, that's not going to scale, so I'm not going to do it. It's like, it doesn't matter that it doesn't scale. You can do that bit first, and then we'll figure out a way to scale it. Otherwise, you're just scaling something that's just an idea in your head. You're thinking you know how how the customer's going to respond, and you don't yet know it. And that's the big difference. And
you get one opportunity to impress people.
Exactly.
So if that one opportunity is wasted, then they're not going to listen to you again the next time when you've actually worked out what messages do work. So doing it small and often. And because we talked about my example of kind of the shitty marketing tactics was on Instagram and people just sending out this stuff. And then I got this fantastic message because I'd followed a lady. She recorded a bespoke video with my name flashing over and doing a little dance saying, oh, Debbie, it's so great that you followed me. I can't wait to find out more about you. I've given you a follow back. I was like, oh my God, this woman has taken the time to record an individual video. And that's why things like Bonjoro work really well. So Bonjoro is a system that you can sign up to, and you can send little personalized videos via email. And the open rate on them and the conversion rate on them is like 80% or something, where email's like around 25% with like a 2% click-through rate. So it really works doing stuff that's individual to people. Now that's made me go and check her out. Then I'm thinking about doing her course because I'm like, oh, great. She's doing exactly what she says she's doing. And she's going to help me not be shit on Reels and work out how I can use that without looking like a middle-aged woman. And it makes me want to build a relationship with her. I'm now really intrigued, where if she just said, thanks for following, I'd just be like, yeah, all right then. Like, it wouldn't stand out. And it's like, how do you stand out as well? That's made her talk about her 3 days later live on air. You know, that's the sort of reaction you want from people when you get in touch with them.
Yes, exactly that. And they're really good examples, aren't they, of just things that they're a little bit more time consuming, and technically do they scale? I mean, I suppose it depends on, you know, the systems and things. Bonjoro is a great example. When you sign up for Bonjoro, and if you've not tried it, if you're using email as a marketing platform, I strongly suggest you do. I've used it and it's great. Even when you sign up to Bonjoro, you get a Bonjoro from the CEO of Bonjoro, who's just, you know, like when he did it to me, he was just like walking down the street. He's like, hi, I'm in Adelaide or somewhere in Australia, like looking really cool. And then just talking to you personally, like, and it just makes you think, wow, you know, this. Yeah.
I'm important.
So sometimes you might find that even the stuff that you think doesn't scale actually then can scale, but you don't know until you try it. Oh, morning, Trent. He's waving at us. So morning.
So if anybody's got any examples of things that they've done that don't scale the business, it'd be great to see that stuff in the comments. Because I think, often it's that, like I said, some people think, well, if you throw enough shit at the wall, then some of it'll stick. Don't do that, because you'll maybe get one client, but you'll have annoyed 199 people. And that's not what you want people to say. Oh, God, Debbie, she contacted me and she's a bit gross. And, you know, she just sent me this like message that she sent to everybody. I don't want people saying that about my brand behind my back, you know. So it's really important thinking about what would you like as well. Like, how would you like people to approach you, and then integrating that a little bit into your marketing. And I love the fact that the CEO of Bonjoro sends you a message. You think he's really busy. He's running a big kind of tech company, and there he is, like individually welcoming each person who signs up, you know, a message. That's amazing. That's such beautiful kind of, I don't know. It's like when you get packaging and it's all lovely and fancy and you're like opening it and there's like a hello, Debbie, thank you for buying it. Like those little touches make such a big difference to the customer experience.
Exactly. And you start watching that and you think, actually, is this automated? You know, have they got some like deep fake AI, or has that guy actually taken the time out of his day to do that? And then you realize that he has.
Yeah.
So, but you know, that's almost the next step. That's the way that it could scale in the future, right? You know, the technology's there now to be able to do all these things, but it's again solving problems before you have them. You know, take people who are going to you know, be building websites and fulfilling orders for stuff. Like, I spoke to people a lot, and they want this full automated end-to-end process before they've even got any customers.
Yeah.
And again, it's subjective. It depends on the size of the business, etc. But you've got literally somebody starting from nothing with a very, very small budget. It's like, well, don't do all that. Put all of your money on the front end. You know, make that slick, really good front web page, really amazing. You make your brand amazing, etc. And I'm not saying go and spend thousands on branding. Just pay someone on Fiverr to do it. Looks really cool, polished. But as soon as someone orders, that just comes through as an email. You then run to your garage, pack that up manually, and take it down to the post office. And you can do all that sort of stuff to beginning. But then the question is, well, what if it gets really busy? It's like, well, that's a nice problem to have. If you get really busy, and you know that is a challenge in itself, then solve that problem, but don't solve the problem before it happens. And that's the difference between when I say, you know, do things that don't scale first, because you can learn so quickly about processes that you might not otherwise have had that real hands-on experience. So you learn so much than the automating a process based on facts rather than based on what you think it should be.
Love it.
There we go.
Right.
We're up to our 10 minutes. That went quickly, doesn't it? Didn't it?
It went super quick. So come and join us next week here at 10 for 10 minutes of whatever we're going to talk about, which we've not planned yet. So, you know, don't scale it. Just go with the flow, guys. Just do it organically. And we're going to be over on Clubhouse now. Come and find us and come and chat to us and talk about, we can help you think about what are the things that you can do that can start that ball rolling, start that process rolling. And it's almost like, don't scale your business until your business needs scaling, in a way, isn't it? It's like start small and grow from there. And the stuff that you learn will help you scale your business rather than trying to do it all at the front end, like you said. So come and join us over in Clubhouse.
That doesn't mean you've got doesn't mean you've got less of a business by doing that. It doesn't mean, you know, just because you haven't got all these fancy processes and automations, just because you're doing things like you haven't got any less of a business. It just means you're learning and you're getting in there, and then you can automate later. So especially if you've got a very tight budget in the beginning. That's what I would always say. So Clubhouse. So we're going to go on there now, aren't we?
Let's go over there, and we'll see you back here next Friday at 10.
Next Friday at 10. We'll see you then. Take care. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye.